Hello, everybody. That was the very first time I've had a countdown. I'm super ecstatic that I discovered that. Hello. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the January wrap-up for AuthorTube. I'm joined by the wonderful Nia. Do you want to intro yourself?
Hello, how's everybody? My name is Nia, the Vixen of Fiction on YouTube. How are you guys doing? How are you, Sarah?
Not too bad. We're doing okay. A bit tired. I did something to my back last night. I don't know what.
Oh no.
But I've pulled something in my back, so no matter how I sit or turn or stand or move, it's like a big pain in the butt, unfortunately. But apart from that, not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've had a busy day, so I feel like I've gotten a lot done today and got to stream, or not stream, but got to get on live stream earlier, and so it's been a good day. I got on early this morning. I was on Sarah's this morning, and I woke up and read, which was really nice.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
a nice way to start the day with some reading, isn't it?
it is.
Right, so yes, today is the January wrap up. We will be joined by Sherry or Sharing Forge a little bit later. I think she's just come off of her very own like 3 hour writing stream over on Twitch. So she will join us when she can. But
Yes.
today we are here to celebrate and talk about everything that we've done and accomplished in the month of January, make some plans for February to hold everybody accountable, and hopefully fit in a couple of sprints to get any of our last minute work done.
Yes.
Yes. Rainy is here. Hello, Rainy. How are you?
Hi,
Sadie is
Rainy.
here. Hello.
Hi, Sadie.
Hello. And Writing Violet is here. Hello. How are all of you today? Right.
Hi,
So
everybody.
the first question I think we need to ask is, how did January go for everybody? Did you do anything you're especially proud of? Did you hit all of the goals that you set for yourself? How did it go?
So, do you want to start, or do you want me to start, Sarah?
You can start.
All right. So,
Can't remember what I've done the past month.
I know it seems like January has been a long month. So a lot happened. I think I was distracted for a little bit. We had some things going on here in the United States, and now I don't know why I let these things distract me. And then once I get over it, I get back focused. But overall, I feel like I got a lot accomplished. I started working on some side projects, which I keep telling myself I shouldn't, because I have two big things that I'm working on, but I'm that person that always has like several things that I want to write.
Yeah.
And so if something's calling to me saying get the words on this, then I have to do it. So so I got a little bit done on a vampire story that I wanted to do, and I went back and got a little bit done on my fantasy novel from my Nano project, which I would love to get wrapped up and done during the next Nano. So I've got a year to kind of work on it, and so I'm taking my time with it. So I got to do a little bit with that, but I'm a fitness instructor, so January is very crazy time for a fitness instructor, and especially during COVID. It's like we're just trying to figure it out and get people back into shape, get back to working out. And I don't really do New Year's resolutions so much, but it really is just a good time for people to just start over, or buckle down and get into it. So been doing a lot on the fitness front, which takes a little bit of time from writing, but that's okay, because I'm starting to see writing as my other job, not just as a hobby. So that's one thing I'm trying to do for starting this year off. Like writing's not just the thing that I do whenever I have time. I want to make time for it and make it a priority. So I feel really good about how much I got done despite it being January.
That's good. No, I always sort of go into January like, okay, January 1st is going to be a complete reset on how I've been living my life, and everything's going to be 100% different. And these are my fun goals I've got. And then I always have to think to myself, no, you have to actually do the work in order to achieve this. It's not just like a magic thing. I don't have New Year's resolutions either. I tend to just give myself sort of goals I want to work towards over the entire year. But we did good. I can't even remember what I've done. I finished my rewrites for Project Theft, which was not my rewrites, my first draft of Project Theft, which was one of my NaNoWriMo projects. I have I have participated in Author Mentor Match this January.
Nice.
Which I've got a little one out of bed, just like sneaking looks in the living room, like.
So curious.
So yeah, participated in that this year. I don't honestly think anything's going to come off it, but I want to try and start querying at some point this year. So doing stuff like that, having to write a query and synopsis and having to officially submit, even if it's not to an official agent, it's still sort of like paving the way for me to not get so nervous about doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, not as much writing as I wanted to get done, unfortunately, but more writing than I assumed I would get done, which is good. I'm trying very hard to this year try and treat, much like yourself, my writing as it is, if it is my actual job, because I get way too sucked up in not doing any work, procrastinating. I'll write later and then not actually writing at all. But I know that if I want to get somewhere, I have to actually put in the work. So I need to stop thinking of it as something I like to do or that is a hobby, and rather this is a job. And I need to treat it as if there is a deadline and I have a boss and they are expecting a certain level of output of creativity.
Yes.
So I did okay. I wrote every day except for 3 days this month, which is very, very big for me. I usually take way more days off than that. Word counts were low, but I still wrote more consecutive days than I usually do. So we're getting there. We're doing okay. Right, let's see. Brianna is here. Nia, she does have a gorgeous smile, doesn't she? Rainy. In the beginning, I felt a little lost as I didn't have anything to write. I've been working on rereading my NaNoWriMo story. Yeah, I get that. I've sort of been feeling that as well, but mostly in terms of I'm doing Mill Wordy, and most of my projects at the moment are on pause. Sherry's in.
Hi.
Hey,
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Oh, see, now you're both wearing stripes and I'm not.
Oh,
Rich!
All right, we will let you know next time, Sarah.
There's been some coordination going on behind my back, guys. Like, it's all right. It's okay. Next time.
Next time.
I'm sorry, not listening. Yeah, so we're just talking about our achievements for this month, Sherry. If you'd like to share.
My achievement for this month is I finally, oh my gosh, you guys, I finally finished my alpha read of Abingdon House. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh, I hear Sarah talking about. I knew it was going to be. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I can't wait.
Look. You don't understand. First of all, I want to fight every single adult. Every single one of them. What are you doing? Who is paying you to behave this way? And then it dawns on me. adults are just children with more responsibilities. And then it's like, oh, it's cool that you're totally messing this up right now, because who knows how to do anything, really. But Vanessa should have opened her mouth like a little bit, just she should have said words, okay?
She says words in draft 2. It's fine. She's just
Oh,
words now.
I can't wait.
It's really good. Sadie! Ah, Rainy is here, and Sadie is here, and Brianna. Hi, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
That is one of my accomplishments. I finished doing a quick read of Haley's book. This is The Secrets of the Neath, and now I'm doing like a more thorough, like looking through everything, making sure everything is like fine-tooth combed and all of the world building makes sense. And like I keep doing the thing that you've called me out on, Sarah, where I'm like, sus! Right at the beginning. Right at the beginning, I'm like, this one is the bad one. Yeah. Like, called it. And it's just me. That's just where my brain goes. We have to get more eyes on it to make sure if that's just a me thing. But I've called so many twists so far, and I'm like, wait a second.
That reminds me of when I read, I think it was Stars and Teeth in December last year. The amount of times I was just like, I bet you this is going to happen. Like, one random sentence at the beginning, I'm like, I bet this is.
Yeah, I do the same thing. It's like I'm looking for it. Subconscious is looking for it. Like, aha. I know they said that. That's it. They said that. I know that's them. It's them.
Even if you suss out at the beginning, the sort of satisfaction you get when you're just like, I was right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I'm fantastic. I'm amazing. I figured it out like 200 pages ago. Like I'm so that
And you're just waiting to see how they're going to get it. You're just waiting to see how they're going to get it. You're like, I know they did it, so I'm just waiting to see how they're going to get it.
Are they going to figure out the stuff I put in? That's the part you want to figure out, because some people won't get it.
Yeah.
And some people won't catch the clues, but then, like Sherry, who I think was at the introduction of the character, like the introduction was just like sus. And I was just like, oh, okay. So what is suspicious about this interaction? In some specific way that makes her sus for Sherry.
It's like she spoke.
No. I will go in detail. Actually, you've reminded me to go in detail, but like that's the one that I was like, you got okay. I see what's happening here. But I will tell you how to obfuscate that. But yeah. Oh, also I took 1 week off for being sick, but I basically streamed every day except for Tuesdays this whole month. And that's very exciting to me.
Yes, Jerry streams every single day on Twitch. Is it 11 a.m. CST?
Yes.
I was correct. I was just like, I know EST in my head. CST. It's an hour behind what EST is. 5 o'clock my time, which would be 12 o'clock on EST, which would be it streams every day.
Basically every day.
Yeah.
Fun writing sprints there. Yes. Writing Violet got off to a rocky start, but ending strong. That's fantastic. I think everybody sort of had sort of like a rocky beginning of the year, as we're trying to sort of get over whatever December was.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The look of haunted. Yes.
They're going to hit their word count this month. That's fantastic.
Oh, yay.
Charlie is here.
Hello, Charlie.
Yeah, I will melt into the floor. I can't take compliments or praise or anything like that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm terrible. Adults are just children with somewhat less screaming.
I don't know.
Somewhat less public screaming.
There we go.
No,
There
well, lately,
Lately, yeah.
lately, a lot of adults have been getting caught on little cameras doing a lot of crying. So
Showing their side, yes. Kat is here. Hello. Brianna, I sadly didn't get the word count I wanted, but I finished reading 3 good-sized books and halfway through 2 others. That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
My accomplishment, that just completely reminded me that I have not read my book this month.
3 books in a month. That's so much.
Yes.
I haven't even read one.
I read 2, but that's on my bookish side. I have committed to going back to reading. I feel like I didn't read at all in December, or not enough to, like, I'd read something, have to get distracted, and then have to go back and reread what I already read.
Oh
like,
my God, yeah.
I hate it when that happens. Yeah, I read 2 books this month. I'm like binging a third, like, because I started reading Octavia Butler's Dawn, and I can't stop. I can't put it down. I'm like, I need to know what happens next. I read one of her other books. Yeah, I read one of her other series years ago, but I don't know why I never read Dawn. So, oh my gosh, it is something else. So I'm like literally can't stop. I'm like falling asleep reading it, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, where was I?
I love that.
It's so
It's a
sad.
sign of
And she wrote this in 1988 or 1989 or something. I'm like, it's
still relevant.
yes.
Yep.
a sign of a good book.
So yeah.
Senga, very new here. Yeah, welcome to the chaos. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Where are we?
Yes, welcome, Sing.
Kat had a slow start to January but finished strong. Have I already done that one? No, I haven't. That was a different person. Well done.
Good Kat.
I started tracking how much time they do when they work on writing and when I read. That's good. That you're tracking how much time you're spending on your separate things. I would forget to track the time.
Yeah.
But that's really good that you're tracking how much you're reading and writing every day. Kat, haven't read any books this month. I've read 140 pages of a book. That's about it. Hey,
you read what you can when you can. I felt like that in December, so I feel you.
More than 8 pages, so it's absolutely fine. Rainey, did you spend as much time as you thought on reading and writing? Haven't actually done reading this month. I finished Cat and Abingdon House. Yes, focusing on reading this year.
I've seen your comments.
Wow, that's good.
It's really nice that you're focusing on reading because, as we all know, reading is important.
Reading is fundamental.
When it comes to writing, which is good. So now that we have spoken about everything that we are proud of this month and have achieved, what are some things that we wish we had done or wish we could have done a little bit better, or things we haven't quite managed to get started or finished? Anything like that?
I definitely dropped out of my gaming streams because those were taking a little bit too much of my energy.
And then you game straight after you just finished a writing stream though, so you were like streaming for 6 hours straight.
Yeah, I should have worked up to that instead of just being like, let's go hard mode. All of it all at the same time.
Yes.
But But the upside to that is I know where my boundaries are. I know where my I know how much time I can do streams for. I know how much energy it takes now. Just because I failed does not mean it's a bad thing, because now I have information. I have data.
Every mistake is a lesson learned.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing that I wish I could have done is I wish I could have worked more on my projects, but I did make several commitments to several people to get their books alpha read, and in my mind, I got sick because it's karmic injustice that I haven't been like I've just been procrastinating on alpha reading. So I am going to right my wrongs, and I'm going to finish all of the alpha reading that I need to get done. I have Project Theft and Project Body Swap to finish reading. I am starting on I have started on Secrets of the Neath, and I also have another project by another friend of mine that I am reading. So I have four alpha reading projects to do, and yeah, that's I can do that. I can do that in February. It's going to get done. I'm going to do it.
Good. And you can count it towards the books you read this year as well.
Yep.
Actually, yes.
You sure can.
Yes.
Yep.
So technically, I read one book.
Very good.
What about you, Nia?
Okay, so the thing I'm probably most disappointed about is, remember in December I said I'm going to do the whole website thing for my comic. It is hard.
Well,
It's
I can only imagine.
And I need to think of it as work and not fun, because I enjoy drawing and writing so much that when you really enjoy it, you don't always want to do the nitty-gritty stuff. And it's not that bad, but it's time consuming. I have to just figure out stuff that I'm like otherwise not interested in at all. You know, I just want the pictures to show up and the map to be there and all the characters to just be on the page. And when people go to click on it, it's there. It's like, does anybody have that app where it's just like, these are all of my things. This is all my information. Can you just plop it in there for me? And then it looks beautiful.
Oh, no.
Like, why can't I have that? And it just looks beautiful and everything's perfect. And when people go on the website, they click and they say, oh, there's that character and they're from this place, and they can see it on the map. I just want it done like that. Like, but no, I actually have to do it. And I'm like, I don't want to.
They haven't invented a telepathic app yet.
No. And we need that. You know, Google, Siri, if you're listening.
They always are.
They always are. So make it happen. You know, every time you have an idea, all of a sudden, like months later, it's like, hey, that's on Amazon now. How'd that happen? They're listening. That's how. So that's one you can have it. Just make it happen for me, because I need it. I need the website.
And then you wake up and then it's done for you.
But yeah, so I've got to just organize it all. I've got to learn how to put everything where I want it and how to make the map interactive, which all sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to someone else's website, I'm like, that's so cool. And then I have to do it myself, and I'm like, this is the worst. Because it is. But when it's done, when I buckle down and make myself do it, it's going to be great. So, and I'll be very happy. So I just have to tell myself that I'm going to be very happy when it's done, and it'll be worth it, and I'll be very proud of myself.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us all know the second it is up, so we can go and click everything.
Yeah.
Find out about all of your characters.
I will. I'm excited for it. I just wish it was done already.
Oh no.
In my head. It's amazing.
Oh.
You'll get it.
It's painful, but you're gonna get it done.
I know. I will.
Don't worry. I I wish I had read more.
Mm-hmm.
Not like books, but I am supposed to be beta reading as well this month. And I have not done as much beta reading as I wish I had done in regards to those two. I keep doing like 3 chapters per day for both books, like on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
But I've only done like 3 days of reading, and I'm just like, this is so bad. This is terrible. And like, not spend so much time.
I find that I cannot. I have to focus on one book. If I like do one book and then do another book, I am not at all helpful. Because it's like, oh, cool. I have done 3 chapters, and then I stop, and then I wander off, and I come back, and I'm like, what did I just read?
It's the worst.
What?
I think I'm lucky in that both of the books are quite different from each other.
Oh.
So I know one of them is Hayley's, her NaNoWriMo project from last year.
Project Sword Lesbians.
Sword Lesbians, yeah.
Which is just awesome project name. It's just like, yeah.
Amazing.
Why not?
And then one of them is for another friend over on the Discord. So they're both fantasy, but they are different enough for me to be able to separate the two. But I don't know what it is. I feel like if I work on one of them for too long, I'll start reading it as opposed to betaing it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, because if I try to focus too long, I start skimming stuff, because I skim read. That's how I read books.
Mm-hmm.
So if I sort of try to focus too long, I'll start skim reading it, and that's not very helpful.
Yeah.
That's not very helpful. So I have to force myself to stop and move on to something else to sort of reset my brain.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Slowly now, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, one of my aims is to get it all done in February.
We can do it.
Start finishing all of the books I need to read.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get it done.
Yeah, I was on another stream with, and Chandra was on there. We were in the chat, and I was like, I went on which I haven't done in a long time, a booktubers, how they do the same thing, sprint reading, and I was like, oh, I missed that. And it's one of the ways I've been able to keep track of my reading. And I said, I would love to buddy read it and just, and she goes, me too. And I'm like, we author tubers, we need to do that too. We need to not forget that reading it feeds our soul.
Yes.
See, I know that, who is it? Is it Laura Williamson has done a couple of reading live streams with reading sprints, I think. And then obviously a lot of that's a very recent thing that's come up, I've noticed. And I'm like, how do you just read and then do you just chat about whatever you want to chat about in the break?
Yeah, they were chatting about random things. Sometimes they chat about what they just read, just whatever. And then it's like, okay, let's read. Back at it. Just like we do with our writing sprints or our creativity sprints. It's like now we're chatting, and then sometimes we get derailed and start chatting a bit too much, but we always go back to reading. And so yeah, I got several chapters read.
Yay!
Right. It felt so good. So,
I love that.
Yeah, on the reading side, I'm feeling really good about how my reading went. Great.
I've always wanted to hop onto a reading sprint, but they're all so late for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It starts at like midnight, and I'm like, no, can't do that one.
Yeah, I will say the one that I got on, it started at like 10, and I was like tapped out at 1, and they were still going. I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep, y'all.
That is so much.
They're lovely people, but I'm like, I'm tired. I'm falling asleep. I'm not retaining the words anymore.
Yeah.
As I've been alpha reading on my streams, and I guess what I've learned from that is I can just chat about nonsense for like ever. My superpower is
You will,
babbling.
you will vague chat about what you've just read, and then that will sort of go into whatever chat is that happens to pop into your head or from something
Yes.
that someone's mentioned in the comments.
Yep.
But I think readings, I think they're slowly going to start becoming more of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
as in focus, not just like productivity sprints where some people are reading and some people are writing, but I think they are very slowly starting to more and more appear as reading sprints. So I think I suppose at least the author tubers who do a lot of reading are probably going to jump on and get the reading sprints done as well, which is not it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Especially when people are having like a hard time staying focused with reading. Like I found that doing it on stream, having like eyeballs on you, being like, "Are you actually reading though?" Like it's been giving me accountability.
It's like how many pages? It's just like with the writing. It's like how many pages did you read?
Yeah,
exactly.
Half a page and 50 Discord comments.
Yes.
Like that.
Does that count? I checked my Instagram. We do the same things, but when you are focused on it, you will get it done. Just the same thing when we come into our writing sprints, or if we come into our productivity sprints. It's really what have you got to do for the day? If you've got to clean up or got to grade papers, whatever it is, but when you can actually do the thing that you're supposed to be doing, it's so good. It's like I spent the sprint reading 4 chapters. It's like
and because there's a record of it, you're like, this is how much time I spent. Yes.
Yes. It's so good.
I know that if I'm not feeling writing on a Wednesday, I know that if I've got my stream, I'm like, I don't need to write now. I'll be writing tons on my stream, even if I'm not quite bothered to, because there are people there watching me. And
so you can't not.
I can't not do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my god, where did I get to? We got to here. Kat finished writing her NaNoWriMo novel this month, which is fantastic. Brianna got 8k out of 20k into my novel's rewrite, so I need to spend less time yelling at good books and spend more time yelling at my own book.
Yes.
I feel that, definitely. Charlie, need to focus more on alpha and beta reading. I've been doing way too much reading. No such thing as way too much.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, too much reading sounds like amazing.
Too much reading sounds so good.
I know.
I want that problem.
Me too.
Too much reading. I think the most reading I did very recently, I used to be a really good reader. And then I'm not a very good reader anymore. I think part of it is because I don't like I write YA and I like YA, but I don't like reading YA.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something about all the books I read that I just don't like.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that live one day, Sarah, where we can talk about YA.
The thing is, for
the love and hate of it. It's like I love it, but also
I don't read YA either. I in fact don't even read fiction. Like I'm 100% nonfiction person. Like that's all I read. I
That's
know.
actually pretty cool.
Like, I don't know. Like, are we going to talk about a new take on the Hegelian dialectic? Sign me up. Like, I'm that nerd. So when it comes to like actually reading YA, which I have to do, I'm like, how do you read fiction again? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. I'm getting my feet wet by reading Sarah's books and also Haley's books, and that's making me feel a little bit better about getting into reading fiction again. However, I keep being like, I keep writing notes, which is what I do when I read nonfiction, by the way. It's like I have
That makes sense,
a
yeah.
notebook full of like information, things that I have to look up. And I'm like, oh, that's what I should do. I should just read fiction the way I read everything else.
Yeah.
You know? Like why did I have to separate the two in my head? That's silly. So yeah.
The talent of reading non-fiction is, I suppose, a very good when you're trying to technically read fiction, because obviously there needs to be a specific way that the plot has to go to make sense, and that's sort of, you've got a really good eye for catching details. Non-fiction, obviously, it has a lot of details in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very helpful. So helpful. She's the best alpha reader I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Hands up, the best alpha. She leaves the best comments as well.
One of them was just the word sus in giant capital letters over and over again. So
you suspect this character? I see. I get it. Senga would love to finish plotting their book. Not sure if February will be long enough though.
Ooh. What is it that you're writing? Oh my goodness.
Now you have to share details.
Yeah, because you can't say that and then leave us hanging, because now I'm curious.
Now we need to know.
Also, that just reminded me, February is only 28 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
And it's really helpful that it starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's like really put a pin in it. It's like that 4 weeks. It's like the solid 4 weeks. Like for real. That's good. I like that.
Rainey wants to finish rereading the Nanavima project, so in March they can rewrite it. That sounds fantastic. Cat editing in February before she can publish.
Congratulations.
Oh, yes.
Nia Brianna says BA in web development.
Oh my goodness.
Offer advice if you need any.
Yes, and I told her thank you. And I know Sherry's offered too. I have such a hard time. People are always offering, like, I can help you with this. And I have a hard time being like, yes, please help me. Even though in my head, I'm thinking, yes, please help me. But
in actual,
that's okay. I don't want to take up your time. That's what comes out.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm like, you have so many things to do. You have so many things. I don't want to be the one who's like, oh, yeah, I gotta do that for her. But people are always offering it. But thank you so much, Brianna. And I'm going to remember this, because at some point I really am going to need help. And when I get to that point where I'm like ripping out my hair and crying, because I can. I will remember you guys. I promise.
Okay, good.
It's hard. It's hard for me, because I always feel like you can do this if you really try. And I'm like, I can do it if I really try. I know, but it's really hard.
It's like you have to research it and read up about it and try it, and then if it fails, you've got to try and figure out what did not go right. But then you need to research that as well. So it's sort of just like, and it's coding as well, which is so awkward. I suppose it's not quite awkward to learn. Once you've learned it, I suppose it is quite easy to do. But just looking at it is like, what? I don't understand what any of this means.
I don't know why it has to be this way. Like, whenever I'm doing anything, I'm just like, why? Why can't you just say, I want this to color blue? And it just, I just want this image. Why is that? Why do I have to have a code to put this picture
in, and it's got to come from somewhere?
I just want to put the picture there.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
When I had my website, like trying to set it up, it was like, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I spent like 8 hours, like pages going through the code and trying to research where in the specific line of code I need to put this piece of the code to add this specific color or this background to this picture.
Yeah, the simple things like how to make something italics. I understand you got to do the thing with the eye at the beginning and at the end. The simple things, I'm like, okay, but then the hard things, like actually like making a code for a picture or color or finding the color and there's a number for it, and it's like, oh,
There's so
what?
many things, so many,
Oh my God.
one thing, one too many spaces, or the
Yeah,
wrong number, and it
it's
just all
like,
goes wrong.
yeah, you have to find out where the extra space is that obviously you messed up because it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's like, it's so hard.
It's still, you'll get it, don't worry. Right, so
We lost Sherry for a second. Hopefully she'll be back.
she's here.
Okay.
That, and let me.
There she is.
That was completely my fault.
Okay. Right, I think now what we'll do is if we go into a sprint,
Mhm.
we'll do
Yes.
a productivity sprint. So anybody who needs to do some writing, reading, alpha reading,
Yes.
they need to go stick on a load of laundry, anything like that, they can get that done, and then we'll come back with some more questions for everybody.
Yay!
All
I
right.
don't want to use a Google timer. So we're going to do one 16-minute sprint
Mhm.
because I have a timer for that. So StreamYard, okay, it did automatically do it for me. Fantastic. Right, so we're going to start our 16 minutes productivity sprint. If everybody is ready, in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Okay, that was the end of the sprint. What did everybody do?
I reread chapter 6 and 7 to I reread chapter 6 and 7 of Secrets of the Neath.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay for reading.
I read 45 pages of the book I'm supposed to read this month.
Yeah,
Not even halfway through it yet.
that's okay.
I'll have to finish it next month. It's fine. It's fine.
That's okay. You are reading. That's okay. I worked on a scene. I've got an in-between scene, and I didn't realize I didn't put. I write down this kind of like a script for the story for the comic, and I realized I have a scene that goes from here to here, but I haven't drawn it out. So I'm like, now how do I want that to look? So I'm trying to work out how I want the characters to move in the scene.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In between scenes, I always find in between scenes really difficult. It's like I know what is A and I know what is C, but I don't know what B is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's trying to connect them.
Yeah, I've got to get the characters in a certain place. I need everybody in position for the big thing that's about to happen. So I need to, like, I've got to get him over there and get this person here so that when the thing happens, they're not, like, still together. I need everybody kind of, like, looking for each other. So I'm like, I got some more drawing to do, but I love drawing, so that's fine. That's fine.
Where did we get to? Let us know, everybody, what you guys did. Sengo reading feeds our souls, so true. Peer pressure for working, I think I would read. Yes, I suppose.
Fair.
That's peer pressure. It's like, we're doing work, why aren't you? But we can't see what you're doing. So if you do know work, first of all, we're not going to know. Second of all, we're not going to fault you for not doing any work anyway. So it's not just like you have to work. Like, you are more than welcome to just be at any live stream you want for just the company.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You know, treat it like a pod. You don't even have to watch the faces. Just treat it like a podcast, if you so choose.
Yeah,
I
you
do
can
that.
Sit back. Yep, you can sit back. You can drink your cocoa or your coffee while we're working. Let us work.
Let us do all the hard work. It's fine. Charlie, reading sprint idea. Sarah and Sherry read YA.
Ooh. Yeah. Which one, though?
I think what we need to do is we need to pick a book and live stream us reading the book in real time over a few weeks, and then we just complain about the content of that book.
Yes. Let's do that.
Like a live review of this particular YA book.
Oh no. Oh no, Ranting Sherry is gonna come out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so embarrassing.
we just won't do anything on AuthorTube. We'll just do big people that don't care about us.
Yeah.
Only big names. Yeah.
Which will get the most discourse? That's what I want to know. I know that I can't remember who it is. Someone is doing
Sarah J. Maas.
Yes. I was trying to think of the actual title of the book.
All you said was discourse. all you said was discourse, and my brain went,
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're going
Yeah,
with this.
same
And you're
here.
gonna make me do it, aren't you?
I don't honestly. I don't know that I can read Sarah J. Maas. I read the first book.
I read the first book too, and I'm like, do I want to continue?
What series? I don't even remember the name of the book.
Is it the Court of Thorn? What is it?
A Court of Thorn and Roses.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Roses.
I always want to say A Song of Ice and Fire.
That's
I know
that's
that's not
No, that's not the right one.
But that always pops into my head, and I can never remember the name of the book. But I read that book, and I did not enjoy that book very much.
No,
I
it's
I did like a 40-minute rant review about it, like very early on in my YouTube days when I read it. But like a really popular book that's coming out, or I don't know, something new. I don't even know what the book was. That's going to annoy me now until I. Oh, Throne of Glass.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because it's got a throne in it, and I think Game of Thrones, and then I think
There's so many of them. I get the names of them kind of like start to blend, but I'm like, no, not that one. The other one.
Other one. Something
that
Sarah
one.
J. Maas. You just need to say Sarah J. Maas, and people go, oh, okay, yeah, and they just sort of like understand.
Yeah.
Without having to be specific.
I almost feel like I need to read the second one just to see how it goes. But I just could never bring myself to read the second one. I read the first one. I mean, I should have known. It started out, she's like, this girl is like she's lived and a lot of YAs do this, but the girl, the child, has lived the life of a 45-year-old woman who's had it rough. It's like I'm like, is anybody just 15 anymore? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
seriously.
I find that's one of my issues with YA. Is just like I always forget that the characters are supposed to be like 17 years old because they don't act like 17 years old. With Six of Crows, which is arguably like my favorite YA book, the characters are supposed to be like 17 years old, 16, 17, and I'm like,
it helps that they're a little older.
Yeah, you don't act like that. And I understand
I love
within the world of the book, like a 16, 17-year-old having gone what they've gone through, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That they would act older than they are, but I just completely always forgot that they were 17 years old, and I thought they were like 20s. And when I found out, I was just like, they're babies? What?
They're literal children.
I like it, but it does read like they're 18 and older. Like it just wouldn't make sense if they were 18 to 26 or something. It just would read better in my head. But I still like that one. It's like some of them, if it's good enough, I'll forgive it.
I like that in the TV series when we started seeing the pictures of the actors. I like that they were slightly older. I'm like, yes, thank you, because it didn't mash in my brain like how tiny they were.
It works to make them older as actors, because then obviously they can do more of the things that they do in the book. All of the, rather than having 15, 16-year-olds, which would just, to us in the real world, would just not be very realistic whatsoever.
I have spoken to real life 19-year-olds recently. No. They are literal babies. They are literal baby children. No. Do not. No.
See, I'm at that age now where
I have children that age.
Yeah. I'm at that age now where anyone under the age of 30 is like, oh, it's a little baby.
Yes.
So oh, what a baby. And they're like 26 years old. I'm like, you're such a baby.
Oh. I do this to Barry all the time, and Barry's like, what are you doing? I'm like an adult person. And I'm like, I know you are. You're so good at adulting. Yes, you is.
Oh, we're gonna
clean up the sugar.
Yeah. No, I have to ask my kids
We're
all the
muted.
time.
I made sure.
I'm like, tell me the truth. Is it really like that rough out there for you teenagers? My daughters are like, no, but it makes for good drama. So just
That's the thing. Everyone thinks, and I think this goes back to, I suppose, the discourse with the new Winx saga Netflix show. People think, or adults think, that teenagers want sex and the violence and the angst and the drama, and it's just like, no, they want happiness and cuddles and a tiny little bit of drama that's solved in 5 seconds, and then rainbows and sunshine. Like, they live angst and drama. They don't need to also see the angst and the drama. Like, give them something happy.
Yeah.
At that age, I'm pretty sure I was like, you know what? Basically the equivalent of How to Train Your Dragon. That's what I could take.
Yeah. I think I was at that age, I was literally like, my high school years was like High School Musical type of, we're all in it. I'm like, what was everybody else doing? What did I miss? Yes.
I really think it's because like YA is so popular with real freaking adults that are basically like our age or older. So that's the disconnect. That's what they're kind of like not realizing, is that a lot of old people actually read these books. And yeah, like why not just have the style of YA but not have to deal with children? Because you know what? I cannot write children. I can't. I try and I look at it and I'm like, no, this is like completely unbelievable.
I can't do this to a child in my story. You're now 19.
Yes.
Like, no. It's like, no, you're not 19 in my story. Sorry. This is no longer YA. This is now adult. Just no.
Brianna, we are discussing how 15-year-olds behave like 45-year-old women. Oh, why YA is garbo? Technically, that's not what we're describing. Technically, what we're describing is, why is it so believable to these people that a 15-year-old is going to end up murdering a bunch of people, captaining some sort of ship? I don't know. Why is this a thing that makes sense to you? It doesn't put that dude in school.
Yes. And where are their parents?
They're all dead. They are all dead. All of them. There's no such thing as parents.
I find there's 2 veins of YA. There's what I've dubbed the victorious YA, which is the happy little 15-year-old Nickelodeon show, which has a little bit of drama, lots of fun times. And then there's the Riverdale YA. Which is 15-year-olds solving murders and strip dancing and having sex and sexually and you know, the majority of YA is Riverdale YA.
Oh, and now they're going even further though, Sarah. There's a show and it looks so pretty when you look at it. It's about dancing. I think it's called Pretty Things or something like that. On Netflix, it's like that is not for teenagers. Yeah, I think that's about
ballet show. I've started watching that. Me, a 30-year-old, 30 I've started watching that. I enjoy it, but I'm an adult.
It's very pretty, yes. But they're in high school.
Why? Yeah. Why is it every single?
I thought they were in college, right?
Yeah. Why does that have to appeal to teenagers? Like, even the Winx, which was originally a children's show, is now like drugs and sex and blood and violence, and it's just like, but do you need to do that? Like, I'm very sure all of the adults or the teenagers would have been happy with a colourful, bright Winx remake.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Also, Brianna, Eventually you run out of Mistborn is the point we're trying to make here. Eventually you can only read Mistborn the one time, and there's 3 of them, yes, but you can only read Mistborn the one time, and then we're out of Mistborn. So
Yeah.
I've never actually read Mistborn.
It's good. It's
I will need to read it and be like, is Mistborn worth the hype? And then read it and then see what happens. I'll put it on my list of books to read this year.
If you're getting used to the way that YA is now, maybe not. But if you're nostalgic for what probably it should be, yes, very good.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's just genuinely good story.
That's good. That's what we need. Senga's book is a supernatural friendship found family romance thing set in a small town. The main character is basically a hermit who is tasked to save someone and ends up having to save the whole town. That sounds amazing.
How'd you know my life story?
I know.
It's really weird because I have a story in my head that I'm sort of started to plan, which is very, very similar to this. It's a paranormal, but it's very, very similar, which I think is just so interesting. But no, that definitely sounds absolutely fantastic.
Aww.
Yes.
I hope you get the plotting done for it, definitely.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's family, found romance.
That's what they want. They want their family.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all they want. Found family.
Yes. Hello, Sherry.
Finished my February habit tracker just in time to be called for dinner. Well done. Starting to think Sarah's voice is productivity. That's the mum in my voice. Hi, we're here to do some work. Charlie,
yay!
Fantastic. Rainy finally outlined a scene which I was putting off in the last hours. That's good.
Yes.
I recently saw something earlier today. I don't know where this is from. That seemingly unpleasant task only ended up taking 8 minutes to complete and was surprisingly satisfying. I may have erred in putting it off for 2 weeks. And it's true. It's just like, I don't want to have to do this particular thing, but once you've done, it's like, no, was not as hard as you thought it was. It did not take as much time as you think it did. And you've done something, and it's very, very satisfying to have been able to cross something off your list.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And a lot of times you putting it off and you're stressing about it because you're like, oh, I still got to do that thing, and it's in the back of your head. And if you just do it, it's not that bad.
It's dusted, and it's such a weight off your shoulders. Kat went house window shopping. I can't buy one yet, but I can look. Oh, I love. One of my favorite pastimes was getting the newspaper and just flipping through to the for sale section and just looking at all the houses going, I want this one. This one.
Yeah.
Sherry's making supper. Someone always makes supper when I'm streaming.
Hunger.
Charlie Akatar, that's the abbreviation I was trying to think of. Oh, are they two? Oh, I thought they were the same series.
Oh.
Isn't there a character in Akatar that is from A Throne of Glass though? I don't know.
I only read like up to chapter 3 of the first book, and I went, you know what? I think I left my oven on. And
I think that's the thing. I can't DNF a book. I can't do it. If I start reading a book, even if I absolutely hate it, I have to finish it. Because I'm always in the back of my head, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. This book was hype. It's going to get better. It never does.
I trust no one.
But I see, like, how fast can I finish this awful book? Just to get it out of the way. It's like, I've spent my money on it, so I don't want to not read it.
Ooh, see, I always hit the library first. And if I can't get it from the library, then I will not be able to read it.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Our libraries are closed at the moment, so I have been unable to go to the library because we're in lockdown at least until March now. Yay! So there is no library. So if I want to read a book, I must buy it.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's very fair.
I got these early on in the pandemic, and I got them on they're on my Kindle or my Audibles actually, and I got through the first one, the Sarah J. Maas one, and the other ones are just here because usually if it's a series, I like to just keep reading. I'm like, they are still not read. I just like the first one, and that's it. I didn't get past the first one. I'm going to though because I've got this weird curiosity now. Does it get better, or is it just like some people really love it though? So I'm like,
thirsty people.
Probably, yeah. This is the precise
people
reason.
who need a long hot sip of tea.
I'm trying to figure out what the hype is. I'm like, maybe I need to get past the first book, and maybe then I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm into it now. But so far, no, I've had him for a year on my and haven't.
It's the reason I don't listen to like reviews or anything like that, because if someone's going to go, oh, this was a really good book, I give it 5 stars, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool then, and I read it and I'm like,
who are you? Who paid you?
5 stars? This is not good like you said it was. Why are you lying to me? But yes, because everyone has such different opinions. So I'll go through and get books based on my interest in what the plot is. And then if people think it's good or not, I'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hayley's here. Hello. I have you muted. How dare you, Hayley?
This is why I started roasting Hayley.
But yay, January. And yay, February.
Yes.
Charlie read Throne of Glass 3 times because reading book 2 over a span of 5 years. It was so hard, but I read ACOTAR in one sitting. But the teen MC in ACOTAR is basically 50. They're like fairies, aren't they? Who probably look like they're 17 years old, but are really like 250 years old. It's actually trying to date an actual like 17-year-old teenage human girl. That's how they
I don't like it.
Go, isn't it?
That's gross.
That's usually how those fairy stories go, though, to be fair. Hayley, can you believe we're already into the second month of the new year? See, I found that the beginning of January went quite slow, but the last 2 weeks of January have just flown by, and I'm like, how is it already February? See, there we go, Mistborn. Everyone's like, Mistborn. I'm like, okay, I'll
yeah.
15-year-olds don't go to school. At least they seem to go to school whenever it suits them. See, I always make sure that there is at least a few scenes of my teenagers at school or doing homework or something in my books, because I know that it's not there. May is here. Hello. Disappointed with Winx. I watched, and I can't remember the channel it was, which is very bad. Basically, they explained everything that happened in the series, so I do not have to watch it. So here we go. Brianna, this is why all my protagonists are 35 and over. They have this thing called world experience and humility. Yes. The MC in Throne of Glass series travels to okay, so the MC they do have the same character. Okay, that's good. I was not just being weird. I really don't know with validation, but thank you. It's okay. You're welcome. Oh, I'm getting more recommendations. Okay. I'm gonna
put that one in right now. Liza Lamora.
Okay, but I'm writing you down, Brianna, and if it is not the best YA book ever,
we're gonna bring you on here.
I'm gonna come at you.
And we're gonna make you explain yourself now.
Now, why is this good?
I'll get the book.
Tell us all.
and I'll do my standard trope bingo on it, and I'll tag you in the video so you can see what I think of the best YA book ever. It's not actually YA, don't read. I'll read it anyway. I need to read others. So there you go. Oh. When I look for new books, I look for the bad reviews to see what people have to say bad about it. Okay, that's very interesting, because then if people say that it has stuff that I don't like in it, I don't need to attempt to read it.
Yeah, I did that with Bridgerton, because of the show, and I have a couple issues with the show. I do overall, I enjoyed the aesthetic, especially of it. I just like the way the show looks, so good. But there's some story things that I was like, oh, that's a little cringe. So, but I was like, well, I wanted to do a video on it, so it's like, let me get the book so I can read the book and then I can do it. And people are like, the reviews are just as mixed, and they're like, that's scene, and it's like, do I really want to read it? I need to read it.
Things about the book. I have heard some bad things about the book.
Yeah. So I ended up not getting the book. So if I do a review, I'm just I'll mention the book, but I'll just talk about the show, because the show has some problematic parts anyway. But of course the aesthetics, just the people were so pretty, and the queen is awesome. You know, there's the good and the bad. So I like that. I like when I can say, this is what's good, this is what's not so much.
I love the clothes. I love the clothes.
Yes, they all look so pretty. Everything's beautiful.
I haven't watched Bridgerton yet. I don't have much of an interest for it.
Yeah.
It's sort of somewhere on my list. Like, if there's absolutely nothing else to watch, might as well just give Bridgerton a turn. But you could always do like a comparison between the book and the show, and what was problematic in the show, and if that was an issue in the book, and vice versa, and then rewrite it yourself.
And then this is how it should have been.
This is how I would have written it, the right way.
It worked just fine without that scene and that scene.
Yeah.
See?
Those scenes probably didn't need to be included.
They really didn't. Sometimes there's a scene and you're just like, why? It was great, and then you did that thing. And it's like, that really messes it up. Why would you do that? But
yeah.
You know.
It happens. Bridgerton, not my style of story, so I was biased against it. Yeah, I'm not. Do I like history stuff?
Yeah. See, I love historical fiction. I absolutely love it. You know what was they just did Jane Austen's unfinished her unfinished novel, and I want to glance because it's slipping my mind right now. Loved it. So good.
It didn't have enough dragons.
Anything with dragons makes everything better. It really does. So yeah. But yeah, if I could have Bridgerton with less of those fringe scenes, and I don't even need the sex scenes, I don't need any of those. Add some dragons in there and maybe a couple fairies. That'd be awesome. Yeah. But it's not fantasy. But historical fiction, I just enjoy historical fiction. It's fun. I mean,
it's one of the things that I also like pick up on. I pick up to read is I will like read nonfiction historical accounts of like, I just love history so much. I've recently been getting into the War of Roses. Oh, it's so good. It's so drama.
So do you do this if there's a show or a movie or a book that's a retelling of something historical? Do you go back and actually read the actual historical?
Oh, 100%.
I do that all the time. I love it. It. I'm like, that's not what happened with Mary. Let's go read the real thing.
Excuse me. The bloody queen did not do that. No, ma'am.
It's all inaccurate.
Wait, why didn't you do the fake pregnancy thing? Where's that, huh? That one was interesting.
Yeah. I do that. It's
The
so
only
bad.
historical show that I've ever really watched, apart from the first couple of seasons of, I can't even remember the name, the British show with the family.
Downton Abbey.
Thank you, Downton Abbey. Was the Tudors, which I think was the first and only. I couldn't remember the name. That's the first and only like historical dramatized retelling, I suppose you could call it. Well, you'd have to call it of like actual history.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I also watched some of. I forgot the name again. The Rain.
Rain.
As well, which was a historic dramatized retelling of the life of.
Oh please! It was Gossip.
Not
It was
really.
Gossip Girl.
Whoever-
It was Gossip Girl in like Tudor dress. Like, come on.
Yeah. It really was.
not even Tudor dress, but the fashion in that was amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
It was kind of like if Forever 21 existed back in those days. Or if they did like a historical, like if Forever 21 decided to do Halloween costumes, that
Yes.
was the costumes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the inaccuracy of it.
It's so bad.
Actually so good. Like it's like
they looked good doing it though.
Yes.
It was for teens, so I suppose it's more acceptable to have them look as good as they can, as in the actors and actresses.
Mhm.
So you have to put them in sort of more aesthetically pleasing rather than historically accurate fashion. So they can sort of imagine themselves in whatever beautiful dress that they happen to wear.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. Let us stop derailing the conversation. We're so good at going off on a tangent. I absolutely love it.
That's what we're here for. I do too. That's fine.
Like, wait, what were we talking about?
The point of this stream was to something,
right?
January. We need to have just like chat streams sometimes.
Yeah.
Talk about it and everything. Now that January is over, or is soon to be over, what are some of your goals for February? Whether that is writing, whether that is creative in general, whether that is life in general. Everybody. Nia?
Okay, so one of my goals for February is to try to finish that doggone website. I feel like once I finish the website, then I can really just move forward with putting the comic out. Because now I'm just like, no, I can't put it up. I'll feel like it's incomplete.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then I'm going to talk to Sherry about something that she talked about before, because I talked to my brother and he's like, that's a good idea. You know what I'm talking about, Sherry?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, so it'll be a surprise for everybody. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make it work. But she has to read the story first, because she might read the story and be like, "Oh, Nikki, this is the story's not working. You need a lot of work on the story." So yeah, so definitely I would have you guys read it first. And then we'll see. So I'm excited about that. So once I have the website and I have all of the pieces in place, I can then get a definitive date on when I'm going to put it out there for the world, and then get some more stuff done on my vampire-ish romance novel. I would like to do that, because I don't really write romance. I think I can though, because I've done like short stories. But so we'll see how it goes. Just the whole romantic part. I just like, can they just get together? Like, how much is expected in a romance? Like, I just want to do the cutesy parts. I have to see what is expected before I say, okay, it's not really going to be a romance, then maybe it's just going to be, I don't know, just vampire fiction.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much is expected.
I find romance can sort of be boiled down to all of the drama could be solved with one simple conversation, but they're just not having that conversation, and things just get progressively worse until they do.
Yeah.
I feel that's what romance is.
That misunderstanding, and then it's just, it's like, go talk to them, go ask them if they said that, because they didn't say that. So just go ask them. They never do. They never just go ask the person.
No, I know
what happened.
It's
not that hard. If you think something went down, go ask them. Did you say that about me? It's really would solve everything. Yeah, I didn't say.
Yeah,
oh, great. We're still in love then.
Also, what are all the friends doing? Like, why are they? Like, a real best friend would be like, "Hey, stop it."
Y'all are being so silly.
Look, I have a job and a life. I cannot sit here and listen to you act like you're the gosh dang main character, okay? But everybody has that one friend who is like, no, focus. What are you doing? Stop. Every main character in a romance needs that friend who's like,
yes,
cut it. Abort mission. No.
It's like, now the story is only 2 chapters.
All romances should be one-shots.
Misunderstanding, they talk, misunderstanding solved, kiss, the end.
Yes!
Yes. The guy sees her kiss somebody. That's her brother. She kissed him on the cheek. If you would go talk to her instead of ignore her for a year, you'd know that that was her brother that came into town. No, we've got to go like several chapters of, now he's got to go out and date somebody because she's run off with a guy. No. And she's like, why is he not answering my calls? And it's just like, so much drama. But that's probably part of what makes it. How are you going to solve their misunderstanding? Of course, we say just go talk to them.
Please.
But where's the fun in that, Sherry? Where's the fun in that?
I don't know. Let's have them fight dragons.
Yeah, there you go. There's the drama. Okay.
Which is why
it's a romance. They want to get together, but they have to slay the dragon.
Yeah.
Though the cool thing about what you're working on right now is that you're doing a vampire-ish. So it's like paranormal. So technically there could be dragons.
It needed vampires. It needed something. I can't just do just the romance. I'm like, where's the supernatural? Yes. And if a dragon makes an appearance, don't be surprised.
I won't be.
I just love them. So.
Me too. For me, my plans, alpha read, get all the alpha reading done. I would like to have no missed streams, and work on my novel. That too. I should also do that at some point. My plans were to alternate like alpha reading week because it's like 4 perfect weeks, right? It'll be alpha reading and then a week of writing my working on my projects, and then more alpha reading, and then a week of writing my projects. So it'll be like 2. It'll be really good. It'll make sure that I've done everything that I need to do, and I won't feel crazy.
That's the good thing about 4 perfect weeks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's good. How far are you in your novel?
Well, I have gotten to the point where I know how it's going to end now. I'm a planter, so I've gotten to the point where I know how it's going to end. Now I just have to fill in all of the blanks that come up. I have to fill in all of the blanks, fill in all of the scenes, and it's basically I'm like 80% of the way there. I just need to get that final 20. but it's hard.
Good.
Yeah, you can do it.
I find endings are easy, beginnings are easy, but trying to sort of write everything in the middle to get from the beginning to the end, that's the difficult part. And that's the part I think that no like outlining method ever really truly focuses on, because they focus on the setup, and then obviously the only real big thing you have in Act 2 is like midpoint.
Yeah.
And then it's just like random stuff happens at the beginning and random stuff happens in the middle, and then this is all the points you have to hit in Act 1 and all of the points you have to hit in Act 3. And it's just like, and for Act 2 you just need a midpoint and then stuff.
Yeah.
And
because that midpoint, you got to make it so that it's got to be interesting, you know, and you have to add in the stuff that's actually important to the story. And sometimes you want to add in fluffy stuff that, oh, I just like this and this and this, and you want to put that in about the characters, and maybe it really doesn't do anything for the story. So are you now, is your middle just taking up space of stuff that the reader doesn't really need to know or want to know?
Or is it
just because you want to write it? Yeah.
I need to sort of try and figure out my own sort of version of how Act 2 should go. Like it needs to hit like 2 big plot points in the first part and 2 big plot points in the second part, but something has to happen in order for something else to happen. Sort of like I need to dumb it down for myself basically. So instead of going, oh, now what do I need to put in the middle now? And is it going to be long enough? And is there enough in Act 2? I know what exactly it is that I need to do. Or the types of events or the types of plot twists or stuff that I need to add in. Just to make it easier for myself. Actual plotting and outlining stuff.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, man. That... like the thing about that is it actually involves self-reflection.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
You guys keep talking. I gotta plug in my laptop. I forgot.
Oof. That's the difficult part, is like you have to like look through what you've written and how you think as a writer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do I make all of this plot make sense? And I want this fluffy little scene between these characters, but it needs to do something and it can't just be there. So it has to either do something to move the plot along or do something to move the character arc along.
Yeah.
Like, but what does that need to be? And how is that going to affect the plot moving forward? Sort of thing. So it's very... That's why I don't like outlining. But I get stuck sometimes if I don't have some sort of outline to go off of.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just it needs to be a cheat sheet for it.
Yeah.
Somehow. Right, for me next month, I want to finish the 2 books that I am beta reading. I want to start rereading Project Theft, because I think it's been about a month now since I finished writing it. So I need to start rereading that and getting down my notes and stuff for revisions. And I don't want to say I want to finish the second draft of Abingdon House, but I want to at least reach Act 3 of my rewrites for Abingdon House, plus have at least books 2 and 3 properly outlined, because I want to pull a Kate. I want to try and write all 5 of the books before I start doing major revisions on them, so I can add stuff from book 3 and 4 and 5 to books 1 and 2, etc. So because I want to try and write the rest of those books this year, like for Camp and NaNoWriMo, I want to try and have them outlined. And then do yoga 5 days a week for the entire.
Oh,
well,
I forgot to plug the burpee challenge. Taste Streaming is doing a burpee challenge where in the course of 3 months we're going to be able to do 100 burpees a day, and we're starting at 5 burpees. And because you are a fitness instructor, Nia, I'm pretty sure you know that this is kind of terrible.
I'm thinking 100 burpees in one day.
Yeah,
go for it.
It's me.
Yes.
I've seen people do squats, like for an entire month they will do like 100 squats a day, but spread out over the day they'll do 100 squats for like an entire month, which I think would be an interesting challenge to do as well, because you can do like 10 squats in a minute or so, and then just have 10 minutes spread out throughout the entire day. But then it's the same with the burpees as well. Just like take 10 seconds to
how many can you do? Yeah, how many can you do? And just don't do them in one setting, or build up to it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm much better at squats. I can do squats all day long.
Me too.
Burpees, because I have bad wrists, and so I preserve my wrists for my drawing. So anything where I have to go down and do a push up, I'm like, do I have to do that?
You can do the squats though.
Yeah. Yes.
No wrists required for the squats.
Yep.
But
and I do planks. I'm very good at planks, but I do them on my elbow, or I have to do them on my fist like this. So I don't do them. I don't do them flat palmed, so I don't have to.
Low planks is a thing anyway. So.
And they're like, oh, my class will be like, you're just showing off. I'm like, no, I'm not showing off. It's harder, but it's actually easier for me to do them like this. I'm not. I promise. Don't do that. Just do it out of your hand. It's fine. But I'm up. I do my planks. I'm up on my fists so that I don't have to bend my wrists.
I have chef arms, so my arms are very strong. Like I have like my wrists, and like this like is buff. We're buff, but like the rest of me is Jello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's so cute.
She's talking to me. Yes.
Do you need to go do something, Sherry?
Oh no, she's just yelling. Like she hears me talking, so she's like meow 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 meow.
Oh yes, plotting.
Yes.
I love plotting. I love plotting.
Draw, get back into charcoal and painting. Write some one-shots, and yes, plotting. That sounds good. A scene can exist just to strengthen the bond between characters for a reader. Yeah, so there's got to be some sort of, it's got to be some sort of
those are the scenes that build a relationship
for the characters, and that includes the relationships with the rest of the characters. Yeah. But something's got to develop the plot or the character and their relationships in some way.
Yeah, those are very important. The middle is very good for that.
Yeah. Charlie plans to finish beta reading a novel, reread their work in progress, find better readers for that work in progress, and then finish my second work in progress. That sounds good.
Ooh.
Finding beta readers for that. Okay. Bro exercise. Yeah. Exercise. I think I might do the burpee challenge in February.
Yes. It's good for you. Do it. Do it.
Something I can do easily when the kids are not in the living room, and it's not going to take me ages to do it. So,
and like I don't think I have to do like 100 consecutive burpees. I can just space that out, because you know,
in a day. Yeah.
I have stuff to do. I have TV shows to watch. I have this cat who won't stop yelling at me.
So what you could be watching your TV shows, and in that little time between the first episode ending and the second episode starting, do burpees while you wait for it to start, and then you're good.
Yes.
Yep.
Brianna's plan is to write more dragons. Oh, actual dragon fantasy novel. Nobody's surprised. You can't have a good fantasy without dragons. That's why dragons appear in all of my fantasies in some way or another.
I like to
Same
think
here.
that dragons are cats, but mystical. Like in my head, I always have dragons have cat personalities. Like, you know how cats can be like standoffish and like, no, this is mine, you back off. Like, but they breathe fire. In my mind, scaly, fire-breathing cats. That's why I love them.
Sherry, I'm thinking of my fantasy novel, and I'm like, I think my dragons are just like that. They're. I'm going through their behavior, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my dragons totally act like this. I have the one dragon. It's like an alley cat. Oh my gosh, they really are. Like, you can't get him inside. He's always out. You just leave food out for him, and he'll come when he wants. And then I've got the one who's always stuck up under his little fairy, but he's giant and she's tiny, but he will not leave her side. He's always looking for attention. And then there's the other dragon who's just like attitude, like, please, I'm doing my thing. But, oh my gosh.
Tail swish.
I've written my dragons like cats and I didn't even know it.
There's a reason I always have travel-sized dragons in my stories. For all of the fun cat-like qualities. Every dragon should be toothless, basically.
Yes!
Is what I feel. They should all be toothless. There we go. Yes.
This is a revelation. There's always a revelation when we're streaming with Sherry. Something else. There's always something. It's like, it's true.
There we go. It is consensus. Dragons are cats.
Yes.
And yes, Sherry is taking the impulse decision and spreading it far and wide because now there are more people to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
This challenge.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe. I believe you can do it.
Everyone's doing it. You don't have a choice.
And even if you don't get to 100, just think from the beginning of the month where you get to. That's wherever you end up. That's more than you did when you started.
Whoa! It's like word counts. Yeah.
Yes.
Burpees
are like word
counts. You did some work. You did more than one.
Yeah.
That's, it's progress. Progress is progress.
Absolutely.
Right. It is 5 to 11 in my time.
Oh. What? Where did time go?
I know. I'm thinking it's maybe 5 o'clock. Oh my gosh.
No, time flew.
Oh my god. This always happens. Oh my god.
It's never a bad thing, though. Never a bad thing. Guys, we're going to start a podcast now.
Yeah, we have to. We might have to.
Where we just talk. People can send in questions and we'll just talk about whatever random subject someone brings up.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can do 3,000 in the month of May to celebrate my 30th birthday. If I take it something okay.
Whoa, yes.
When I started reading that as my goal is to build it up so I can do 3,000 in one day. That's where my head went, and I was just like,
3,000 in one day. That person will need a lot of support.
No, in
a month, yes.
3,000 a month is doable and human and sane.
which is about 100 a day. Yeah. So okay, Tay, right, I'm with you there. 3,000 in the month of May. I'll do a tracker in my bullet journal now, so I can track how many burpees I do per day. I'll make it like a little graph or something.
Cute.
It's going to go in the bullet journal, so it's going to be official. Okay.
Yes.
I might hate you for the next few months, Kay, for making me do this. Not that you're making me do anything, I'm deciding to do it. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'll say it'll be fun.
Will be.
Yes.
So much fun. Right, so we should start calling this chapter to a close because I have school in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Homeschooling.
How much longer are you doing it for, Sarah? Do you guys know?
Oh, at the moment, it's until at least the 8th of March.
Wow.
So, not including a half term we've got in a couple of weeks. That's 4 more weeks of homeschool. Whether or not that's going to extend in March, I don't know. We'll find out in March, I suppose. I'm seriously thinking that it's just going to be like, guys, just come back to school in September, okay? Right. And I want to be like my sanity is slowly just.
Yeah, we just went with a homeschool because a school that actually has homeschool as its actual curriculum. That way we didn't have to worry about the back and the forth and then are we doing 2 days? Are they everybody's out now for a month? We just said, this year is going to be just a homeschool year. And so she's very steady. And I'm like, just because your friends don't have school this day or that day, you still got to get your stuff, your school straight. You're fine. And she's like, dang
it.
Right, so do we want to do outros then, guys? Nia, if we start with you.
Sure. My name is Nia, aka the Vixen of Fiction. You can find me here on YouTube at the Vixen of Fiction. I do videos about all the things that I like to do. I game a little, I write a little, I draw a little, and then I'll be putting my comic out on my YouTube channel and probably, I don't know where else I'm going to put it, on this website if I ever get it done. I will get it done. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, follow me. I have fun and I like to stream with these lovely ladies. I have a good time. And I will be doing Twitch soon. As soon as I'm going on there. I'm actively going on there and I really like it. So you can find me on Twitch at the Vixen of Fiction. You can also find me on Instagram at the Vixen of Fiction.
Yay! Twitch buddies!
Yes, I can't wait. Because I'm like, that'll give me an excuse to play The Sims. I'll have a reason. I have to play The Sims. I've got to get on the Twitch. Gotta do it.
Sims is now also part of my job.
Yep.
Yeah. Excuses. Hi, my name is Sherry, or Sharing Forge. I have the same name throughout all of the social medias, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, all of that. I stream every day except for Tuesdays for 3 hours during the weekdays, but on the weekends I do 4-hour streams. And I start at 11 a.m. CST, which is 10. Is it 10? No, it's 12.
12 EST.
Yes. Yeah, there we go. I don't know how to time. But yeah, I basically stream every day, and if you have missed a stream of mine, you can definitely check them out on YouTube, where I store all of them. I do productivity sprints, and I also eventually I'm going to get back to doing games again because I love video games. I find that most of my story ideas come from games, and I just like chatting while I apologetically murder ghosts.
That is the way to go. Right, so guys, thank you so much for joining us. Our February wrap-up stream is probably going to be on the 28th, which is a Sunday, but I suppose we'll figure out the actual day that we want to get it sorted in the future. And I still need to organise our second fireside chat for February as well.
Ooh, yes.
Which is fun. I think we're talking
Yes.
about LGBTQ plus diversity in, I would say, books and media, considering where our last conversation went to, which should be fun. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today and for the amazing chat as always. And I'll see everybody around.
Yes.
The Discord, most likely.
Yes. We'll be on the Discord, YouTube, live streaming. We're around.
I'm sharing Forge on the Discords too, so you'll be able to find me everywhere.
Yep.
They are both linked down below, guys, so go and check them out. We've got not Nia's Twitch, which I need to link your Twitch, but where they currently do their streams and their videos, it's all linked down below for you guys. See you later. Bye.
Right. And Sarah's awesome.